A very warm good afternoon to all the dear students and welcome back to the class of Business Startups and Innovation. So in the last class, we had started with the chapter of starting a small enterprise. We had seen what the definition of a small enterprise is. Also, we had analyzed that how important the role of cottage and small scale industries is whenever we are talking about the economic development. Definitely, it is not possible at any point of time that an economy can grow only and only with the help of large scale industries. At all points of time, the contribution of cottage and small scale industries plays a very, very crucial role for the development and for the progress of every economy. Initially, India was an agrarian country, means most of the contribution in the GDP was coming from the agricultural sector. But slowly, as time passed by, the contribution of the service sector and the industrial sector has increased, which is a must for the development of the Indian economy. Then we had seen the three steps that are required for the selection of a small scale enterprise. So those three steps are, first of all, the decision to be self-employed. Next, we have identification of opportunities, that you need to decide that in which business or in which particular field you want your startup to operate. So in that case, again, we had three particular steps to be followed. First one is idea generation, that which idea would you like to work on. Next, we have concept testing, that you need to test that particular idea and see if it is going to work or if it is viable or not. And third, we have screening the product or the service idea. We need to screen, and finally, out of the 4 or 5 options that are available, we need to select the one idea that we think is going to become the idea and is going to take the firm forward. And towards the end, we have selection of the line of business, that which line, and finally, out of all the options, which is the one line of business that you are going to go ahead with. Then we had undergone this chart, and it is a flow chart sort of, that whenever you are selecting any industry, what are the steps to be followed. So you will check the viability, you will see the industry, you will see the know-how, you will apply for registration, NOC, and you will obtain the permission. Then you will recruit your staff, you will apply for raw material, apply for power connection, you will place order for machinery, for raw materials. And once you get everything, once you have the raw material, once you have the machinery, the work does not end there. After that, you need to start with the trial runs. You need to conduct trials of all those machineries, and you need to make sure that the machinery and the raw material, everything that you have obtained, is in the correct shape and condition. In case there is an issue with any of the machine or with any of the raw material, you need to take corrective measures, you need to improve upon those particular aspects, and then you need to go ahead with the production and the sales. After you have done the sales, you will be getting the money from the sales. And once you are getting the money, definitely the entire amount cannot be the profit. You need to pay your creditors, you need to pay the wages, you need to pay the salaries. So whatever is left after payment of the purchases, after payment of wages, after all the expenses, you get your profit. Then we had seen that whenever there is any profit, there are two alternative uses of the profit. Either you can declare it as dividend, or you can retain back the entire money. Again, it will depend upon the wish. The ratio can be anything. The company can decide the ratio as to in which ratio they want to give out the dividends to the investors. Generally, it so happens that when a company is in its initial growth stages, at that point of time, they do not give out much dividends. They retain most of the money so that it can be used for the growth of the company. And any company like Reliance, Tata, once they have reached the peak, once they have become extremely settled and stable companies, at that point of time, they can give out huge dividends and stable dividends. And then we had seen that what are the different phases whenever you want to start a small scale industry. So these are the different phases that we had gone through. First of all, our first phase was project selection phase. Then the information phase, to gather all the data, to define all the functions, to create a proper monetary value assigned to each and every step. Then we had the creative phase, okay, to find out various alternative methods for providing any necessary function. Then we had the evaluation phase, that once we had 4 or 5 different methods, we need to evaluate all those methods. We need to determine the cost. And then out of all those methods, we need to select the most feasible method, which is giving us the best value. Once all these things have been done, we come to the recommendation phase. In this particular case, you need to create an entire report stating with proper arguments as to why you are recommending any particular aspect and why you are recommending any particular project. Then we will go ahead with the implementation phase, that once you have created your report, once you have given your recommendation, you need to start implementing that particular method. Suppose there were 5 different projects and you have given your recommendation from project C, then you need to start implementing the work on the project C. You need to obtain approval, you need to obtain raw material, you need to purchase machinery, you need to purchase all the things that are required. And after the implementation phase, after you have started working on it, that is still not the end. You need to do a regular follow-up, that is everything happening according to the plan? Is there any problem? If there is any problem, how can we resolve that problem? All those aspects are the ones that you are required to see. Okay, so all these points we had covered in the last class. Now starting with the next aspect of the chapter, that is process of starting a small enterprise. Okay, now what is the process that you follow whenever you want to start any small enterprise? So first of all, we have the start. Okay, so what happens in the start, that you are basically starting with your idea, or you're basically deciding that you need to start something. Now next will be your underlying motivation, that what is your motivation and why do you need to start any of this particular business. Many times it so happens that like how was Starbucks started. Okay, so the founder of Starbucks, he used to really like coffee, and he used to find that there are people who really want good quality coffee, and people would be ready to pay a lot of money also to purchase that sort of coffee. And based on that motivation, he started a small shop selling coffee in his native country. And later on, it was so successful that it expanded, and people really got crazy after this particular brand. Okay, so generally it so happens that whenever you are starting something new, or whenever you are deciding to start something new, you have some underlying motivation, that because of this reason you want to start this particular business. Sometimes it so happens that maybe your parents were in that business, or it was your parents' dream to start that particular business, and that is why even you get focused, or even you get attracted towards that particular business. So it is very, very important to see that what is the reason behind, and why do you want to open any particular business. Many a times it so happens that any person, he might have faced problem in that issue, he might have not found the proper solution, and because of that he wants to pursue that dream further and create his own business. So that might be your underlying motivation, that regarding what aspect, what motivated you to work on that particular idea. Next, we have the formulation of ideas. Now, can anybody tell me what do you mean by formulation of ideas? In case of formulation of ideas, once you have got a particular motivation, once you have got any particular idea, you need to start working on it, that what are the different ways in which you can solve that particular aspect, or what are the different ways in which you can work on that particular dream of yours. Again, whenever you want to achieve something, it is not always possible to achieve that thing only and only by one particular way. There can be different alternatives, there can be different alternative ways in which you can achieve any particular aspect. So for that, it is very, very important that you formulate, or you decide upon all the different ideas that can be used by you. So whatever different ideas you are having, you need to gather all those ideas, and then you need to put them in one particular aspect, and then decide that out of all those ideas, what is the one idea that you would like to go ahead with. Next, we have project planning. Okay, so what do you mean by project planning? In case of project planning, you need to start that, you need to start thinking about, you need to start working on that project idea. For example, say Oyo was developed by Ritesh Agarwal. So that was one idea that, he can start something like Oyo rooms, but then that is not the end. You need to start planning as to how you can work on that particular plan. So what would have been step number one for Mr. Ritesh Agarwal? That he would have gone to different places, or he would have sent his staff to different places to connect with the hotel owners of different places and enter into a collaboration with those hotel chains that, we will list you on our website on your rooms, and you will have to share your pictures and give us a discounted price based on which we can help you get customers. Okay, so this is very, very important that you contact the people, you start working on your idea, and then finally you decide that what is the one way you would like to go ahead with. So it is very, very important for you to do project planning. Again, you need to hire staff, you need to hire the premises, or you need to take it on lease. So there are various different aspects which are required to be done, but project planning is very, very, very important, because that is going to be a step number one. Coming up with an idea is very, very easy. There are many people, who are daydreaming or who are dreaming at night, and they might be coming up with idea, but to make that idea into reality is very, very, very critical, and for that we require the aspect of project planning. Next, we have practical elaboration. So can anybody tell me what do you mean by practical elaboration? In case of practical elaboration, once you have started planning, you need to practically go deep in that. You need to think deeply about your idea, and you need to see whether practically, how far you are right, how far you are wrong. All those aspects are required to be seen properly. Now, why is it so? Because many a times, even though you have started working on an idea, there can be various problems that might crop up. There is a possibility that, you're not able to practically handle the situation in the right manner, or there might be any crisis that has come up. For example, if we see about MMYT, anybody knows what MMYT is? So MMYT is also basically a startup. It is makemytrip.com. Okay, so now what happened in case of MMYT, that it is usually providing with flight tickets or hotel bookings or your holiday planning. But now in case of COVID, these are the things which are not there on people's mind. People are not booking so many tickets. People are not going on holidays. So what is the case in that particular situation? The startup needs to go into a practical elaboration. They need to think that, how they can modify their business, how they can change their business, how they can attract more and more business. For example, now if you will see, recently I was seeing an advertisement of Burger Paints. Okay, Berger Paints. Now what happens in that particular advertisement? Earlier, how the advertisements used to be, they would just praise the quality of the paint and the quality of the people and the quality of the company and everything. But now, if you will see any advertisement, the main focus is on hygiene, the main focus is on sanitation, the main focus is on checking the temperature of the person whom they are sending to paint your house. So based on all such criteria, now they are advertising themselves that, anyone who comes to paint your house, he will be wearing a mask, he will not he will be following all the hygiene factors, he will be following all the sanitation factors. So that is how practical elaboration is, that, once you have started with something, or once you have started managing something, you need to manage or handle those things on a practical basis also. That suppose if any crisis comes up, suppose if any difficult situation comes up, how are you going to practically handle it? How are you going to practically change or modify the situation so that it can be managed as per your business? And definitely whatever process we are following, it is a vicious circle. Okay, so it is never going to end. Once you have practically elaborated, then again you need to start finding more ideas, you need to find more motivation. So there is no startup which will end at any particular process. You all would have heard about that cycle, the product life cycle. In marketing, you would have gone through it, that, we have introduction phase, we have the growth phase, we have the maturity phase, and towards the end, we have the decline phase, that anything that comes up has to go down. So what happens is that whenever you are setting up any new business, or whenever you are trying to conduct any new service or business, after some point of time it will get old, and people would like to switch to some other product or switch to some other service. But you can definitely do something because of which the people will not switch to any other product. And what is that? You need to innovate, you need to think about different ideas, you need to come up with much better ideas, so that your product or your service is remaining active, or it is remaining very, very cool throughout the time. So that is how the process of starting a small enterprise also works. That once you have practically elaborated on anything, you again need to start finding motivation, you again need to start formulating different ideas, you again need to start doing project planning. So again, there are various ideas that have to be incorporated in your startup. There is never going to be a perfect startup that yes, you have done everything, now you don't need to do anything else. You always need to work on your idea, you always need to incorporate more and more ideas, so that you can make your project a much better aspect, or a much better platform. You always need to keep evolving and improving yourself and your startup. Now we will be seeing what are the essentials of a small entrepreneur. What are the essentials of a small entrepreneur means what are the qualities that are required in a person who has to be a small entrepreneur. Okay, so we will go through the qualities one by one. First of all is conversion with the product line. Okay, now can anybody tell me what do you mean by conversion? Conversion means that you are well aware about your product line. Okay, so it is very, very important that suppose if you are starting your own business or you are starting your product line, it is very, very important that you are aware about, what the products are, how the company works, what is the history of the company, what is the literature of the company. I would like to give you an example that, you all would have seen the movie Wake Up Sid. In Wake Up Sid, we have Ranbir Kapoor, who is playing the role of the son of a very big and successful entrepreneur. Okay, and they have the company, if I'm not wrong, I think it is Flower Shower. So they are making all the bathroom accessories, and it is one of the most successful companies, and he's a very, very rich person. Okay, now what happens in that case? Anupam Kher, I think he's playing the role of the father of Ranbir Kapoor. Now what happens that he convinces, and he pesters his only son that you please join my company, and you start coming to office, you start working on it, and you have to handle all this in future. So what happens that Ranbir Kapoor is convinced by his father, and then he starts coming to the office. So if anybody of you clearly remembers the movie, you will remember that when he enters the office, what is the first task that he's given by his father Anupam Kher? What is the task that he's assigned by his father? Anyone? Does he directly start working in the company? If you will remember clearly, the answer is no. He will not start working on the company directly. First of all, his father handles him huge booklets and tells him that for 1 week, you need to go through the history of the company, through the literature of the company. You need to go through all the product lines, all the customers, all the client base of the company, and then you can join our business. So it is very, very important that, whether you are a small entrepreneur, whether you are a big entrepreneur, first of all, you need to be very, very, very much aware about what products you are going to sell or what products you are going to manufacture. Without that, it is impossible for any entrepreneur to conduct his own business. Okay, so please keep this point in mind. For example, even if you go to a grocery shop or to a medical shop and you ask him, ki, bhaiya, ye hai kya? And then he needs to find it all over whether that particular thing is there or not, and he himself is not knowing whether it is there or not. So that will be a very, very wrong situation. You need to be always aware about whatever products you are selling or whatever products you are manufacturing. Also, you need to be aware about all the details of such products. Okay. Next, we have adequate floor shop experience. Okay. Now, anybody can tell me the meaning of floor shop experience? In case of floor shop experience means you must be having the ground level experience. Okay. It is not like that, you are just sitting on the chair of a CEO and there are 4 or 5 people who are running around you and doing your work. No. Whenever you are there in any particular company, whenever you are there, you should know that how things are happening or how things are working at the grassroots level. Unless and until you are not aware about how things are happening at the grassroots level, you will never be able to come in terms with the reality. For example, if you will remember, in the earlier times there was a concept that we had the concept of having kings and kingdoms. All must be knowing about it. So even in those times, whoever the kings were, they would disguise themselves as common man. वो लोग बहरूपिये बनकर, they would change their disguise and they would go out on the streets and see that how people are feeling towards their king. What is the people's attitude? What is the aam janta's attitude towards the king? What are they thinking? What are their problems? What are their issues? They would like to go through all those particular aspects. If you will remember, in we have seen this in Jodha Akbar movie. Okay, Hrithik Roshan, he goes out on the streets and he communicates and talks to the local public about how they are feeling, what their problems are. So in the earlier times also, people used to go outside. In the movie Bahubali also, we have seen that the prince Bahubali, he would go out and he would see that what are the problems that people are facing and how it can be resolved. Similarly, you will see that it is very, very important that people are having floor shop experience. Whenever you are becoming an entrepreneur or whenever you are coming at the top position, it is not necessary that only your qualifications will bring you at the topmost position. It is how you are able to deal with the people, how you are able to understand people is very, very important. You all would have heard about IQ and EQ. So in case of EQ, we have intelligence quotient. What happens in that? It is seen that how intelligent you are or how well versed you are with your particular concept and everything. But in case of EQ, we see the emotional quotient, that how you are able to connect with the people around you, how you are able to maintain relationships, and how you are able to successfully communicate to the people as to what is required to be done. Next is familiar with raw material requirements. Definitely, whenever you are producing anything, you need to be aware that how much raw material will be required, if there is any change in the raw material. Now, can anybody tell me that why the raw material estimation is very, very important in any company? If suppose I wrongly estimated, okay, if suppose instead of 10,000 tons, I say 5,000 tons, then what will happen? The main problem that will happen is that my production process will stop. Okay, so it is very, very important that suppose if there is a requirement of 10,000 tons, you are ordering 10,000 tons only. Suppose if I order 5,000 tons, there will be a shortage of 5,000 tons and there will be an issue in the supply of the goods that I am supposed to provide. Okay, and suppose if I'm over ordering, instead of 10,000, if suppose I order 20,000 tons, then again it will be a waste of my money. My costing will increase and my revenue is not going to increase. So it will lead to losses. So it is very, very important that you are familiar with all the raw material requirements. Next is keeping accounts. Generally, you will see even in Surat, whoever the small businessmen or the small entrepreneurs are, they keep accountants for the purpose of doing their accounting and for the purpose of maintaining their ledgers. But if the owner or if the entrepreneur himself is not aware about the basics of accountancy, he can easily be cheated upon by other people. So it is very, very important that you yourself are aware about how the book should be maintained and how the accounting work should be done. Next, we have knowledge of marketing channels. So again, it is very, very important that you are aware about what are the different marketing channels that can be followed. So in case of marketing channels, we have 4 different lines that are there. Now, what are those 4 different lines? They are the 4 different promotion tools which are used. Can anybody tell me quickly, if you're, if you have studied it in marketing, you will be knowing the 4 different promotional tools which are used by the companies or by the entrepreneurs. So first of all, we have advertising. Okay, that you can pay the money and you can advertise it in a newspaper, radio, TV, anywhere. Then we have publicity, that you do something good for the society and you are there in the newspapers or in the TV, so you have not paid for it. Then third, we have personal selling, that you go door to door and you sell the products to the people. And last one, we have sales promotion, the offers that are given by Big Bazaar, Central, that they will give you huge discounts, they will give you 1+1 free. So all these 4 are known as the different promotion, the 4 P's of promotion mix. Okay, so these are the different marketing channels which are used by the entrepreneurs. So whenever you are an entrepreneur, it is very, very important that you are aware about all these particular tools. So the 4 P's, I'll again repeat it. It is advertising, publicity, personal selling, and sales promotion. These are the 4 aspects that are required to be done, and it is known as a promotion mix. Then we have ensure stipulated quality. Now, this is one of the most important aspects. Any entrepreneur will be known by the quality that he is providing. Okay, initially, whenever a new entrepreneur has to set up his market share, has to ensure more and more people are becoming his customers, he needs to focus more on quality and less on the profit margin. If you are having good profits, if you are, if you are having good quality, more and more people will be attracted towards your particular brand. So it is very, very important that you give the people the quality that they want. Sometimes it so happens that, just to increase your profits or just to reduce your costing, you compromise on the quality of your product. What can this lead to? This can lead to huge defamation in the market and can in turn lead to huge losses for your company. If any one of you has seen the movie Corporate, has any one of you seen it, of Bipasha Basu? In that movie, it is clearly shown that that company is launching a soft drinks brand, a soft drink product line, and they compromise with the stipulated quality, due to which there is a lot of halla gulla in the market. If suppose sometimes in any product or in any packaged food, if you find any cockroach or any insect, at that time also people create a huge ruckus out of it. It is, and nowadays, because of the prevalence of social media, it is easily communicated to other people, and it becomes very, very easy to defame a particular product. So it is very important that if you are an entrepreneur, especially a small entrepreneur, you need to be very much focused on the quality that you have to provide to the people. Then, well versed in taxation, all of you must be knowing about it, that in India we have a very wide taxation structure that is followed. So the tax structure in India, we have the direct taxation, we have the indirect taxation, we will have the income tax return also, we will have the GST return also, we will have the TDS return also. So it is not easy managing the taxation aspect of any company. And many times I have seen, like, in my family, there are many chartered accountants. So I have seen that suppose if in any aspect goes wrong, or there is any wrong figure filled in any of the income tax return or in any of the returns, you might have to pay lakhs and lakhs of rupees as penalty or as fine. So again, it is very, very important that for any entrepreneur to be successful, you need to be very, very clear with your taxation aspects. Again, I'm not saying it is not possible for everyone to read those huge and fat books about taxation and be aware of each and every clause. But in such a case, you need to be in contact with a good chartered accountant or with a good, taxation consultant who can help you with your tax matters. Many a times it so happens that, people are not visiting any chartered accountant, or people are trying to do things on their own and not having proper knowledge, and they end up in big trouble. So taxation is one very, very important aspect, because no matter whatever you do, it is not advisable that you mess up with the government of any country. and you come in their bad books. So it is very important for every person to be very, very careful whenever they are dealing with the taxation aspects of any particular company. Next is willing to put up with bureaucratic regulation. Okay, so bureaucratic regulation means whatever web is created by the public officers. Okay, so whatever the municipality regulations are there, or the panchayat regulations are there, or whatever the scrutinies are there. So you always need to be very, very well versed with all those, and you need to be ready to bear with all the regulations that might come up in that particular task. In case you're not able to, you might land up in huge trouble. So being a successful small entrepreneur is not about only providing good quality products, but when you are there as a small entrepreneur, you do not have many people who will be there to help you, because you have limited profits, so you cannot provide money to each and every person to handle each and every department. So in such a case, it is very, very important that you have to be well versed with each and every aspect, and you need to handle the political people also, the tax aspect also, the accountancy aspect also, the marketing also. All these things have to be taken care of by the entrepreneur himself. Clear? So this is about essentials. We will be continuing with the rest of the essentials in the next class. This is it for today. Thank you very much for attending, all of you dear students. Also, just a small announcement. You all would have received the message on Google Classroom regarding the commencement of the new semester. So it's a kind request to all of you that please take admission for the new semester, and you need to apply in the college for that particular aspect. So this is it for today. Thank you all of you dear students for attending the class, and take good care of yourselves.